It is the Riot Podcast. Nikki, welcome back.
Hey.
Hello.
I meant to tell you guys yesterday, it's always Isaiah filling in for Nikki. Let's not put the stress on that anymore. Let's just, treat it like I'm filling in now.
Oh.
When I
so now Nikki's in today.
Yeah, I'm in today. That way we're not, making it so noticeable when I'm not in.
Nikki's filling in for Isaiah for filling in for her.
Exactly.
Listen, Nikki has some days off that she can finally take at the end of this year. So I just want to make sure everybody's not like, again?
Yeah. Again, Isaiah, again?
Nope. Instead, you're like, oh, it's Nikki today.
Yes.
Good. Well, thank you for filling in, though, yesterday for me.
Of course.
We had a good time.
Yeah, it was a fun time. We talked about all kinds of fun stuff, like nice manly stuff. We talked about No Shave November and all kinds of good stuff.
So are you going to not shave this month?
Does it look like I've shaved?
I can't tell yet.
What?
It's the second day.
You're right, the second day. I have not shaved yet. But
it's not really noticeable yet.
So
you guys have to get closer. It's the lighting in here. It's very dark.
It is dark.
I'm going to try to last till Friday.
Okay. Well, no, you need to go the whole month.
Yeah, see, that's like what you're supposed to do, but like mine is going to look disgusting.
No.
So I don't want to be out and
about
doing things with that on my face, but I think on Friday is going to be like the determining day. I don't know. I might not make it through tomorrow. Like, it's starting to get to that point where I wake up because I shave every single day.
I was just bugging you.
So it's weird to have it on my face because I'm so used to shaving every day.
Sure.
So in the mornings I wake up and I hate it.
Now, see, Hudson already has a beard, so it's not like, what, you're going to grow it more?
Yeah. I just might trim it less.
No trimming.
What you can do, though, Isaiah, is like, say, I color my hair. Mm-hmm. So I have like a powder you can put on your hair to make your roots less noticeable. Ooh. You could get a darker color and start filling in your beard. So it looks like it's like moved
super
along
thick.
more.
Some just for men.
Yes.
Just some fibers and stuff. And that way they're like, well, obviously he's grown it in.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I might just, and I've also dabbled with, I might just go mustache.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea.
Just mustache.
Don't you think a mustache
that's what you're
would look
supposed to do after No Shave November.
I know.
Then you shave it down.
But I think this Friday, if it looks bad, I might just shave everything except for the mustache. See how that works for the weekend, maybe. And then Monday rolls around. If the mustache looks completely disgusting, then I'll shave that as well.
See, I think you can pull off a beard or a mustache.
I guess we'll find out.
I'd hate for you to ruin your 5 days.
I know, right? All the work I put in.
Yeah.
I think if you went with the mustache, you could have pulled off Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
For Halloween.
That's
if
a
I
great
could.
That was a
idea.
popular costume with the dads.
Yes.
So. Anyways.
We talked about that yesterday, but today we talked about one of my favorite actors who is going to be voicing a very popular character from years and years and years
Is he
ago.
popular?
Chris
Garfield?
Pratt?
No, Garfield.
No, Garfield.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah,
Garfield,
Chris Pratt.
yeah.
Chris Pratt is beloved. Garfield.
Garfield's a popular character.
I don't know. I think he's like a...
Don't say he, just say Garfield. Because then I can't tell if you're talking about Chris Pratt
Yeah,
or the
Garfield
Pratt.
is you love to hate him in a way.
No, it's just a very old character.
Yeah, so now he feels uncool. Garfield does.
I don't
like
know
Garfield.
if he was ever cool. Garfield to me feels like
he was
when
cool.
The comics were in the papers and
funnies.
back when you only got the paper. So it feels like your grandparents only had Garfield. We have so many other characters.
Garfield and Family Circus, and that was good enough for them.
That was it.
Yeah.
And it's good enough for Chris Pratt.
And now the rest of us have moved on, but not Chris Pratt. He still thinks Garfield is a valuable property that he wants to be involved in.
He gets paid.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Fine. You don't have to do anything but talk.
If anybody's going to bring back Garfield, it can be Chris Pratt.
I mean, if Bill Murray couldn't do it.
Yeah. We talked about that. And if Garfield isn't popular, this monkey is going to be one of the, I don't know.
Love the monkey.
The monkey is incredible. It just so happened to bite a child, yes. But
who hasn't had a hey, we talk about this teacher who punched a student.
Yeah.
There's not much difference, all right?
Yeah, the monkey bit a child.
Based off of the profession the monkey was in, that kid should have known no touching.
And there's
No touchy.
you know what? There's a lot of violence in that profession. So
Yeah.
I hope the monkey didn't learn.
Yes.
all that.
It had to defend itself.
It's just a weird story.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot to unpack there with the monkey and the woman and the coach.
Longhorns.
Yeah.
It all connects to Texas football. It's kind of a weird thing. There's
It
a lot
is.
going on there. We talked about that, and then, yes, of course, we talked about a Florida Teacher of the Year who just so happened to punch a student just a couple days after her award.
That's what gets you Teacher of the Year in Florida.
Maybe it doesn't get you fired, but it gets you, like, you don't have to come in. Ooh. So you get
suspended with pay.
Suspended with pay, and maybe she's like old enough to where you never have to come back to work again.
It did say she was 60.
She's 60.
She's
there.
close.
Getting there.
Maybe this was a last hurrah. She's about to retire. I guarantee she's about to retire. They gave her the award because it's her final year.
It was her
and then she
swan
punched a
song.
student.
Yep.
And this was
She's
like
done.
the one student, even though it said that she had other problems, but this was the one student she hated.
Yeah.
So she said, this is it. And
I'm sending it.
that was the way to end it.
Wow,
Yeah.
what an end to a career. Legendary.
They don't care as long as you're getting
Going
money.
out on top.
Yep.
We made it, Ma.
Yep.
Looky here. Well, thank you guys for listening to the podcast today. Make sure you text and say hi, 877-2-RADIO-U. Idle Threat makes it into the podcast.
That's right.
Too.
Yes.
A new band on Radio U. So when you're done with the
An
podcast.
idle threat is a band, not something the teacher
Not a
did to
teacher
the student.
Yes,
well, it's
or
just
the
an
monkey.
idle thread. It wasn't real. But make sure when you're done with the podcast, hop over to Radio U Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel so you can watch the interview and subscribe and share and like while you're there.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, then you'll love the new Garfield movie coming soon.
Oh, that was the movie you got to tell us about?
Yeah, I thought you would be excited. You hate Mondays. He hates Mondays.
What's the other Garfield thing? What is it that he eats?
Lasagna.
Yeah, that's it. Actually, I don't really care for lasagna too
Right?
much.
You don't love lasagna?
Not as much as he does.
Yeah. Oh, nobody loves lasagna as much as he does.
But I love cats, so
yeah.
I guess that
you love
works
cats.
out.
You love Chris Pratt, right?
I do. I think he's great.
Chris Pratt
is he the voice?
He is the voice of the new Garfield that will be coming. This is just in the early stages, but it has been announced that Alcon Entertainment is producing the movie. Sony Pictures is on board to release it. It's going to be going not nationwide, global. Globe-wide?
Globally?
It's going to be released globally except China.
I was like, what did Garfield do?
Yeah.
Or what did Chris Pratt do? Or maybe someone else voice it.
He does it, what is it called? Xi Jinping or whatever. What's his title?
Oh,
he's not the prime minister, the emperor. What do they call him?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
Well, anyways, I think Garfield offended him.
No, that was Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that's right.
That was different.
Any number of animated characters have offended he's just the president, maybe.
I don't know.
The president of China. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that Chris Pratt is the new Garfield, and so they're working on this movie. Do you think Chris Pratt can capture the mood of Garfield?
The essence of it?
Yeah.
I guess he can, because he did Lego, and then what's he supposed to do that's also animated that made people
Mario. He's the voice of Mario, right?
Is Chris Pratt just voicing things?
Yeah, what happened?
He decided to take a break from actually acting out.
He was in such good shape.
He was.
You would want to flaunt that body, right?
Maybe he still can.
He can. You can tell he still looks good even through the voicing.
Actually, this feels like he's committed to other movies, but he can still do this one.
He's got the time.
He can still voice something as long as he doesn't have to do anything else.
Yeah, I just don't know. Garfield is a tough one because it's animated. Mm-hmm. It's going to be made for kids, but Garfield is so depressing. Yeah, like he's so kids want, happy in your face, so whatever. And Garfield's very reserved. He's reserved. He's older. He just has a more world weary view on things.
Maybe I should start reading Garfield. Maybe I would like it. I really connect with this cat.
Yeah. So I don't know, and I don't know if Chris Pratt. He's always seen. I mean, in the Lego Movie, he's very jovial. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
like
if
him in that.
I don't know if he can capture Garfield and how annoyed Garfield always seems to be with everything.
It also, to me, depends on. There's only certain animation styles I like, and I feel like Sony with the Garfield animation style, I would not like.
It might be might not be the kind that you enjoy.
Yeah, it's not the same style. But they say that Garfield is currently still the record for the most widely syndicated comic strip in the world. Mm-hmm. So it must still be made. It must still be out there.
I think Garfield still is around. I don't think it has a very good history of movies with it either, though.
Sure.
Because there's the Bill Murray one. Remember that?
Oh, isn't that the one he was accidentally signed up for and couldn't get out of?
I think that sounds about right.
It wasn't something he intentionally thought he was doing.
Somehow they made multiple Garfield movies because I guess they had him signed on for it, even though I don't know who actually enjoyed that or went to watch it, but that was one of the installments of Garfield. We've had multiple, and now we're getting another.
So there it is, Garfield, a new animated feature film, and Chris Pratt is going to be that. And then, yes, Chris Pratt is also still going to be Mario in the new upcoming Mario film.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Well, this sounds like a nightmare. Going to the DMV, or some people call it the BMV.
That's all you have to say.
Some people call it a sling blade. I call it a Kaiser blade. The DMV.
It's a miserable place.
Yeah, no matter what you call it, it's no fun. Whether you work there, whether you need to go there for some reason. One of the nice things about the pandemic was it took so much of that online, right?
It did, and depending on your state, you might have a kiosk for it. You might have I usually just go online and you're scheduled so that when you get there, it's really only a few minutes.
Yep.
But if you don't, do that, you're going to be waiting forever.
Or if you're in Texas, where even if you go online to schedule, there's a big issue with that.
What are they doing?
Starting in July of 2020, last year during the pandemic, they started making it so you had to have an appointment, or you either had to have an appointment, or you could go and wait for somebody that doesn't show up for their appointment and take theirs.
Oh.
There's no other option.
Oh, you can't just...
For stuff that you have to do in person.
Oh, that's weird.
So right now, if you were to go to try to schedule an appointment for, I don't know if it's all of the DMVs across the entire state, but at least generally, if you try to schedule one today, you're waiting until 2022
to get an appointment
to actually be able to have the appointment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Unless you just happen upon a time someone does not show up.
That's what's happening. People are lining up. Some are saying at some locations, hundreds of people lining up.
That's an awful
waiting
idea.
for a standby appointment in Texas for the DMVs because you have to wait so long for for the stuff that you need to go in. If you need to renew your license for some reason, you can't do that online there. So you can't have a license for 3 months, or because they say early 2022. So at least until January, you're just supposed to not have a license or something. That won't do.
Doesn't work out.
No, it does not.
They say that up to 100 people wait in line each night because 25 people are only able to book an appointment throughout the day. One woman was saying she was number 111 after she was in line at 5 a.m. Others would get there as early as 2 a.m. So if you want to renew your license, again, in this area, you could renew your license online, but you had to go get a vision exam.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go to an optometrist. That sounds scarier than the 111th in line. But you would have to do that if you want to get renewed, because that'd be the only part that you would have to go in and do it. But imagine if you were like a new driver and this was your new license.
You'll just never get a shot. It'll take months and months and months on top of what you expected to be able to start practicing driving. So, man, that is how can you live that way?
Well, that
how can
doesn't
you run
work.
a state that way?
They say that they had like longer office hours and were opening on Saturdays, but those have also been discontinued.
Yeah, well,
so
they probably don't have enough people to man all that time. It's a real double whammy. But the thing is, we act like this is all crazy. It's kind of like what the DMV was like before the pandemic too.
Oh, I don't remember it being that hard to get into.
It wasn't that bad. But maybe that's just because they had more employees at that time.
Well, that was just hard. Like in ours, I remember right around the pandemic time, I still went to go get the new driver's license, and that was always the problem because everybody would go in and they'd be like, "Well, I didn't know I needed that."
Yeah,
and they waited in line and they caused a commotion, and you would just be the person behind him who had all your stuff, but still had to wait. For everybody else.
You just had to. When I have gone, I would go first thing before right before they open. But it sounds like in Texas that wouldn't even come close to helping you at all.
No, imagine it. You get there at like 5 a.m. and you're 111th in line.
Yeah. What do you do?
Go big.
What do you? Yeah, that's right. Sometimes in all the wrong ways.
I know, that's not the best way to go big, but they are staying true to that.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
This morning, we get the opportunity to meet
someone new.
Yes, a new band on RadioU. We've been playing their song, No Turning Back, for a few weeks. It is Idle Threat, and we are joined by Zeke. Is that right?
That's correct.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing super good. We love the new music because I know for Idle Threat, you guys released your album on Friday. Did you have a good weekend with the album finally being done?
Yeah, of course. We've been chomping at the bit to finally get it out. So we're happy that it's finally out.
And we were trying to talk to Ernie Hudson as well. So Ernie's in the background. So I feel bad. Like, hi, Ernie. Sorry he couldn't be on the screen.
He probably has something he really wants to say. And he just, he's not allowed to chime in because he doesn't have a mic.
He's going to have to leave it up to Zeke at this point.
Yeah. Well, so what did you guys, you just wrapped up the tour and you got to do the album release show. Did you get to do anything else to celebrate album release day, or was it just another day?
It was just another day, pretty much. But the show was awesome. The show was so much fun. So
good.
We saw that when you did wrap up the show, the tour, it said Blurred Visions Tour Part 1. Does that mean Part 2, another tour on the way?
Yeah. We are already talking about just possible like other artists that we want to tour with next year, and just to continue the Blurred Visions tour. We want to do other tours outside of that as well, but we also want to continue the Blurred Visions tour as well. So
for Idle Threat, when you're like, hey, do you guys just all throw out a few band names of bands that you just always wanted to tour with, and you just see what works out for them, or how does that process go to get a tour together?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we just kind of talk about what bands we would like to tour with, and obviously a lot of that's like within reason. You know, we're not like, guys, I'd love to tour with Metallica. You know, let's hit them up. You know?
Sure.
But just the other bands like us that we'd like to go out on the road with. And then once we settle on like a good group, we'll start reaching out whenever it's time.
Is it kind of the same? Because I know you guys came out with Driftwood, which is the new Idle Threat song, and that has Corey from Norma Jean. Is it kind of similar when you came out with the Blurred Visions album and you were like, hey, we have like 10 guys we would really love to be on the album, and you just contact them to see? Is it kind of very similar than the touring setup?
Yeah, it was kind of similar. Except it wasn't 10. It was probably about like 3, you know?
Okay. Manageable number.
Yeah. But we had like opened for Norma Jean a couple times. And we just kind of kept an amicable relationship. We like friends with their guitar player. And so when it came time to record the record, we knew we were like, we'd love to have like a guest spot on this record. And so Corey's name came up. He was one of the first people that we wanted to reach out to, and he also was excited to do it. And so we were like, well, great. You're the guy.
That's awesome.
It worked out. We love Norma Jean too. So when we saw that a part of the new Idle Threat song, we thought that's a good choice right there.
Yeah. We're super excited with how it turned out. It's awesome.
So for the new album, it came out over the weekend, Blurred Visions, right? Is that your debut album? That's your first full length, right?
First LP ever.
So what do you think is different about going into recording an album with a full album idea in that mindset, as opposed to previously where you put out EPs and singles?
It's just a lot more work, I think. But with our EPs, we kind of went in with like a pretty solid roadmap of like the songs and their structures and things like that. But with this one, not every song was like fully mapped out when we went to the studio. So it was kind of like we were going there to finish writing the record as well. We definitely we're like full of ideas, you know, but we had to kind of like do a lot of like cutting and trimming on each one, or adding to the songs and stuff like that, which was just different. We had never done anything like that. And so actually the most fully fleshed out song that we went into the studio with was Driftwood. Every other song we did a lot of changes to.
So do you think next time you guys go in for Idle Threat, you do more music? Do you want to have more songs that are like more fully planned, or do you really kind of like the spur of the moment when you're in the studio recording to see what comes out from it being, in that moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's benefit to both. It was definitely exciting watching a song come together like before your eyes, like in the studio. But it was also like really exciting, like seeing like exactly what you envisioned come to life as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think there's awesome parts about both.
Well, I think I don't know if I'm prepared enough. Like I want to have every song mapped out, or I that's why we're not in a band. We could barely do it.
We'd be lucky to get one single together, and that would be it.
We would be like, hey, we're a one-song group, and that's it. Well, this is Zeke from Idle Threat. Their new song, No Turning Back, is doing amazing on RadioU. So we're super happy to have you a part of the RadioU family. And last week, because their album came out on Friday, and then last week you guys got to work on a music video for No Turning Back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Is there anything you want to say about it?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Is that coming out soon, or we obviously will stay tuned for details? But was that your first music video you got to do?
No. We did a music video for our song called Cement last year. That was like our single off of our last EP, which was our debut release on Tooth and Nail. And now we're releasing our first LP, and this is kind of like the first single that we're wanting to push video wise, and I'm really excited about it. No Turning Back is one of my favorite songs on the record. Of course, my favorite changes a lot. One day it'll be this,
Sure.
One day it'll be that, but I like that one a lot, and it feels like felt like it had like a lot of potential, like just visually just using things from the song, and so we thought that would be a good one, and we're really excited to put it out.
Oh, well,
nice.
We seriously love the new stuff. We're excited for Idle Threat for the album. So if you guys want more details on Blurred Visions, to check out RadioU.com for its newly out in our shop section.
Yes.
And then, of course, for the music video, stay tuned for that when it gets out for RadioU TV. And then the new song Driftwood with Corey from Norma Jean. Everyone can check that out too. So it seems like you guys are just going to stay busy.
Yes, we're going to try to as much as we can.
Well, Zeke, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It was an honor.
The Riot Podcast.
You guys see this story going around on Twitter last night. It is about, it starts with Texas Longhorns, college football, their special teams coach.
So it's not like the head coach?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know if this makes any...
I don't know if that makes a difference, but
I just
Just
wanna,
he's on the staff.
For clarity.
I just want to know who.
Yeah. His girlfriend, her name is Danielle Banks. She used to be a stripper, although I'm not sure that's actually important, but it is something people were pointing out.
They were pointing it out, yes.
She has a pet monkey.
That was used in the
stripping.
Her performance.
The monkey would strip as well.
Incredible monkey.
Wasn't wearing much to start off with, but
no, we can't.
It made it easy.
No. Okay, so putting that to the side.
Well,
all
the
right.
monkey is important, an important part of the story.
Yeah.
Because on Halloween, she invited people, I guess they set up a haunted house and stuff. So they invited the neighborhood kids over.
Oh, how sweet.
And the adults could come over and like have a little party. Although, again, she's an ex-stripper. I don't think stripping was involved. However, what did happen is that pet monkey we were talking about, it bit one of the children that had gone through the haunted house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It bit one of the children that had come by.
So what do you do?
And apparently the monkey's jaws had to be pried off of the child. It was pretty bad. Although if you look at the video and believe what the girlfriend, the ex-stripper has...
Again, you keep bringing that
Yeah, I know.
up.
You can't. That seems very not relevant to the
It's
story
not
whatsoever.
relevant, but it's just a way of referring back to her, so we're all clear.
Who we're talking about?
Because if I just kept
the
saying
woman who owns
according
the
to
monkey,
Danielle Banks, it would be confused.
you'd have no idea who you're talking about.
Because how many people are owning monkeys?
Yes.
The monkey owner, she showed a video that says the child that had been bit must have had to wander way off the beaten path to find the monkey because the monkey was in a cage far away from where everything was going on.
You know, like, shouldn't the monkey have been in the house, not in the haunted maze in your front yard?
She says it was, like, she shows a video. The monkey was way in the backyard, away from everybody, in a cage.
In a
and I guess the child had wandered off. And, I mean, you have a monkey and it's anywhere nearby. Some child, and you have a bunch of children around, the child's going to find his way to a monkey.
Well, that's not her fault. You know, she put the monkey in the cage. It's far away. The kid went and did something it wasn't supposed to do. It's the child's fault. You need to control. Where are the parents at? Where are the parents at?
The parents are too
Watch
busy
your
partying.
kids. Watch your kids.
Yeah.
Now it's just all going back to the coach for the Longhorns.
Yeah.
For these special
I
teams
forgot about
coach,
him.
Because now everything's just like, hey, this is your special someone.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why are you having a monkey? And what's all going on?
What a wild weekend you were
Weird.
getting into. So, but just what a crazy story. I guess the child must not be in too bad of condition here. But sheesh, that was...
And then normally when you hear about dogs in this case, and the dogs get like put down or they get in trouble. But I guess for the monkey, because of it being so far away and
in a cage.
And it's a money-making monkey. Like, this isn't just some monkey. It's not like this is some, like...
The
this
monkey's
isn't,
gone into retirement.
This isn't Jim with no actual talent. Like, this isn't my dog that has absolutely no value outside of being my best friend. This monkey is worth something, all right?
You look at your own pet, you're like, why can't you get a job?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, when do you start making me some money? Like, what are you doing at home?
How can we incorporate you into our money-making lives?
I know how the internet is. The internet's making her former occupation, a emphasis on this story.
Right.
But
she
really
got out of the biz.
It really was just about. Well, I think it's still odd to have a monkey. I think
it is.
It is odd.
Well,
but
after you get out of stripping, what are you gonna? You're just gonna kick the monkey to the curb?
I don't know.
It's not his fault. You're retiring. So.
But at this point, there's no other updates. It's just everybody's having a real fun day with this online.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the child is fine. You can't die from a monkey bite, can you?
No,
he's
okay.
Not.
She is okay.
Don't you get your updated
a shot?
She's some sort of tetanus shot. Yeah.
That's. Well, I get extra candy. Like, I'm taking the whole candy
He gets
bowl.
all of the candy.
Now they'll know not to wander off. You know, the parents will keep a closer eye on the hooligan
valuable
child.
lesson.
That's the worst when you have to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
And the lesson's learned because you got bit by a monkey.
Yeah. I don't know how that can be converted into the rest of your life, but I'm sure he will.
Never go to the zoo.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, look, guys, there's nothing funny about a teacher punching a student.
Of course not.
An adult punching a minor. But we're about to talk about it anyways, because the circumstance is kind of funny.
The details around it.
Yes.
Well, okay, wait, first, let's a quick poll in the room. Has anybody ever hit a teacher or had a teacher hit them?
Never.
Ever?
Well, my mom was my teacher.
And
she did spank me.
So that's a yes.
Yeah, so I can speak from experience on this story, I guess.
Okay, well, I'm just interested in hearing your thoughts then, since you've been through this.
I've been through it. What we have here...
As long as you haven't hit your mom.
Yes.
I guess that would be the other way.
Of course not. What we have here is a English teacher at a Florida middle and high school. Her name is Carolyn Melanie Lee. She's 60 years old. And she was arrested on Friday for allegedly hitting a student.
Aww.
But the thing is, just 2 days earlier, she was named Teacher of the Year for that school.
Yeah, it seems about
in
right.
an Instagram report and every Instagram post and everything.
Yeah.
And so that
she caused a bloody nose.
Quick turnaround, you know? You get
Yeah.
named Teacher of the Year and then you punch a kid in the face.
you
maybe if
you think you can
about
get
it,
away
though.
with it.
No, at this point, winning, that was it.
Yeah.
So now all the feelings they felt of frustration towards the students, now she's probably like, it doesn't matter.
She can
I'm
let
gonna
it all
quit.
out.
Exactly.
Let it out.
You know what? They say if you're a teacher, if you can make a difference in just one child's life, that makes it all worth it. She's made a difference in this child's life,
That's
for
a difference.
sure.
It's not
Yes.
the right one, though, Hudson. It's the wrong one.
What?
Meaning this was not the right
No,
help.
no. Well, that's not specified in the saying, so maybe she didn't hear.
She made a difference, whether it's good or bad.
She was following through on that statement.
Now, I could see this, though, because we had this teacher in middle school that all the students really hated, but the faculty kind of held up as like, this is the best teacher
She's
ever.
an incredible teacher.
Exactly.
She's the teacher's teacher.
All the students were like, this is the worst human being
No,
we've
she's
ever
terrible.
encountered, and terrible. And finally he got fired. But like, I could see then the faculty not really understanding, like, hey, this person, because they say that this teacher had a lot of other questionable problems with the students. So if you've ever been in a school where there's one of those teachers, like I could see this kind of working that like that.
They say even in the Instagram post before the incident happened, the Instagram post from 2 days earlier, people were already questioning, which is kind of wild to see. I guess you kind of expect it in a way if there's a teacher that isn't universally beloved, but it's kind of wild to see a teacher. Hey, congratulations. And everybody in the comments is like, really? This is who you're picking?
Isaiah, maybe this was like the last one to win.
Yeah,
it was the
maybe
last
just
everybody
don't
else had already won, and then they were like, well, we have to give it to her. Like, she hasn't gotten it yet. Every other teacher's won it. But also, like, typically with stuff like this, like, the students are the ones who typically vote on, like, Teacher of the Year for the school. Like, that's at least when I was in high school and middle school, that's like, we usually voted on the Teacher of the Year. It wouldn't make much sense for the other teachers to vote because they aren't in the classroom. How would they even know?
Right.
So it has to be the students, right?
Then nowadays you'd be voting for the write-in, which is what Teacher McTeacher face. You know,
Yes.
like, you just can't
can't
handle.
trust the students.
We cannot handle voting for someone ourselves.
I thought when you said this might be the last teacher to win, you meant they might not give out the award anymore.
They might do that too.
They just have to retire this one.
It just means that everybody else has already won the award, and you're the last one before everybody circles back around again.
They can't give it to the same person twice without giving it to somebody. Everybody at least once.
Well,
I
everybody
get
has
that.
to win, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody has to win at least once.
Well,
be
you wouldn't
fair.
want the teacher that beats up students to feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the worst. I mean, yes, for all of our school careers, you've had one or two teachers. They're just terrible. And this one just happened to be promoted
Yes.
ahead of time.
Just so happens she just won an award just before ruining her career. You know how that goes.
No. Sometimes, though, you could still punch a student and still keep
You
your
might be able
career.
to
Keep it
away
going?
with it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to fire with
And
that.
just be surprised if she wins again.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
In this case, it is a little bit sarcastic because I have a new survey here brought to you by the fine people at Walgreens, and they want to remind everyone of some statistics, like the fact that a quarter of people think that the holiday season, the last 3 months of the year, is the most stressful time of the year.
Oh, I could totally see that.
But if you break it down into 3-month chunks, that makes 4 quarters of the year. And so if a quarter of people think this is the most stressful quarter of the year, that means basically a quarter of people think every quarter is the stressfulest of the year. You know what I mean?
No, you
That's
just
not
made
a
that
very
really
meaningful
hard.
statistic.
I think it just means that, October you have Halloween, Thanksgiving, all the Christmas stuff starts in November, Christmas itself in December. It is 3 long months of nothing but stuff that people want you to do.
Lots of appointments,
so
lists to
it's a
make and
lot.
check off twice and all that kind of stuff. So they say that 43% of people anticipate feeling more stressed this holiday season than they were last year.
Yeah, but why is Walgreens saying this? Are they like, but come to Walgreens and we'll give you everything so you don't have to be stressed?
Wipe the stress away at Walgreens, where we offer photos and gifts.
Or are we supposed to
Medicate?
Yeah, I know.
At Walgreens?
Take something.
Take
Just
some,
something to take the edge off.
I don't know what kind of drug you take for de-stressing, but Walgreens has it.
You can take a cold or flu thing.
Yeah.
That'll mellow you out a
You
little
just
bit.
take some NyQuil, sleep right through it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then it'll be January. And then you can work on what everything's wrong with you and still be stressed.
I mean, if you hibernate this whole time, you would probably lose some weight, right?
Yeah, you won't eat all
so
the
you'd be
holiday
feeling
stuff.
good. Then you wouldn't need to do a New Year's resolution in January. I think we just found a key to life. You hibernate through the holidays. You wake up on January 2nd, and you're feeling all fresh and ahead of the game compared to everyone else.
Your electric will be shut off and you'll have no water.
You don't need your electric while you sleep?
You might, well, can you get kicked out yet? Or you might be okay, but 3 months, you're going to want someone to manage your bill pay.
Yeah. Oh, you set it up for automatic withdrawals.
No, you never do that, okay? Because then they'll get you one time.
They'll withdraw twice, and it's like, you signed up for this.
And then you have no money, and then the holidays are even worse.
For some reason, that is not included on the list of things to stress about.
I see.
In the holidays. What people are stressed about, it says gifts being delivered late or getting lost in the mail is the top concern. 48% of people are worried about that. 48% of people, I guess, tied for the most worrisome thing is their safety and health around in-person events and shopping. So I guess people are concerned maybe with the virus or, the flu. It's going to be a big season for the flu, they say.
Don't say whoop-dee or what do you say? Hoop-dee-doo.
Hoop-dee-doo, the flu.
See, that actually works.
It's happening.
I think you just need to be realistic about this and get yourself so stressed the rest of the months of the year. To where
Even it out.
It
so just feels normal.
It can handle it better as we, get into the Christmas season.
Yeah, you got to amp up your stress. That can be your New Year's resolution.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Every once in a while, I'm reminded of one of these small towns. They all seem to be in the Cleveland area and Cleveland, Ohio. And for example, this is Newburgh Heights. It includes the area of Newburgh Heights includes a stretch of Highway 77.
Yeah.
The interstate, major highway. And so what Newburgh Heights does is they plant a bunch of police officers along that small stretch of 77 and issue citations, speed tickets for basically everybody.
Yeah.
It's a town of 2,000 people. They earned $3 million in 2019 just off of speeding tickets.
Oh my gosh.
Half of their town budget. And that's not the only place. Again, there's more of them, and they all seem to be around Cleveland for some.
Every area, but small towns.
Yeah, several around Cleveland. For whatever reason, the way the Ohio government and court system works, it makes it easy for that. Anyways, but there's plenty of places like that across the country where they have a little system that's set up to maybe it's more about the town earning money easily than it is about keeping people safe. And if you're somebody who's driven through that, and you probably know, if you live in that area, watch out in that because you just want to avoid it or really watch your speed when you can.
But if you're just driving through, you don't know.
You don't know. And sometimes we feel like that in life, or I guess I could say sometimes I feel like that's how God feels to us, where God is just watching and waiting for a way to punish you for doing something you've done wrong.
Like a trap.
And exactly. And nobody wants to feel that way because the truth is, each of us, we know we're not perfect. We're not going to drive the speed limit, even if we tried 100% of the time. We're not going to live our lives perfectly 100% of the time. And what you don't want is for that to be whacked over your head every time you do screw up. So I understand if you're thinking, well, that's what God wants to do, so I don't even want to have to deal with God. But that's not what God is. That's not what Jesus wants to do. Jesus understands just as well as you do, in fact, better, that we are all going to make mistakes. We all make choices in our life that aren't the best. And I think a lot of the times, and again, this is something that Jesus knows better than any of us do, the bad choices we make are actually in response to stuff that has happened to us that we don't even make the cognitive connection. But the truth is, sometimes you go through stuff in life you don't realize, and it's not exactly your fault. Either way, all that to be said, God isn't trying to sit there and wait to punish you for your transgressions. God just wants to love you. God wants to come into your life and let you know it's okay. Yeah, we all screw up. And the truth is, I'm going to help you out when you do screw up. I'm not going to make you feel bad about it. I'm going to try to find ways to help you screw up less. Try to find ways to just let you know it's okay when we do mess up. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to be there with you through it all. That's what Jesus wants to do for you. Love you through it all, through the screw ups, through the good times. God's there for you. And if you want to experience that, All you have to do is ask. God is there waiting. He's just not waiting to punish you. He's
not
waiting
there to give you a ticket.
He's not there to give you a ticket. He's waiting to say, hey, I love you. I'm going to be here with you through it all. Start talking to God. Let him talk to you. And if you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift is a great place to start.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Now, if you know Tiger King, the show that came out on Netflix, the documentary show that came out at the beginning of the pandemic, so it was last March, and it just came out at the perfect time. Everybody remembers that. But if you remember Carole Baskin from that show, you know what she loves? She loves a few things. One is animals. At least she loves something about them. Does she love taking care of them? Does she love allegedly abusing them for profit? Does she love feeding her murdered husband to them?
I was going to say, wasn't that the alleged part or the thing about her?
There's a lot of alleged things about Carole Baskin, and she allegedly loves all of that stuff, but there's no alleged about it. She loves filing lawsuits, and that's what she did. She has filed a lawsuit because, if you saw last week, Tiger King 2, the trailer for that has dropped, and Carole Baskin is included in it. But the thing is, she never agreed, according to her, to be included in a second follow-up series. Mm-hmm. And so she's suing for the company, the production company that made the documentary, to take her out of the trailer and take her out of the entire season 2 of Tiger King because she didn't agree to be included.
Because, I was wondering about that. A few weeks before the trailer came out, there was word that the next season of Tiger King was coming. Mm-hmm. And that's when she spoke out saying she should not be in this one.
Yeah.
Now, who knows the contracts? Who knows what was signed?
Yeah.
We don't really know the details except her saying, no, she should not be seen in this. She does not give her permission. Mm-hmm. That doesn't always, work if technically you don't need to give your permission, depending on how legally they're making this work.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not too surprised that once the trailer came out and she is in it, that she would sue them, saying that she wants her to be removed from it.
Yeah, and you just have to think that Netflix, with all their money behind them,
would know.
She knows she's sued the wrong people. Don't you think? I know she loves to do lawsuits. And she's always looking for a way to make a buck, it seems.
Yeah.
But I feel, and so in a way, Netflix would seem like a ripe target. But then again, I feel like Netflix, they're lawyered up,
Well, they're either doing this two ways. This is promotion for when it comes out, which is November 17th.
Uh-huh.
And they don't mind paying at the end of this.
That's true.
Because they have the money to use towards lawyers in these lawsuits, or they really have a way to legally have her in it and she just doesn't want to.
I'll tell you what. Netflix better watch their back, though. You don't know what she's capable of.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to be a part of a lawsuit, Hudson. You don't want to say anything.
No, yes, allegedly. I'm just saying that, all I'm saying is you don't know what she's capable of. She just happens to have a bunch of big cats, and people happen to go missing after they are associated with her. If she can make a buck off of that. So if she can make a buck off of Netflix disappearing, We're just you're just connecting the dots.
You walk into Netflix and there's a lion or a tiger, and it's deleting footage from the hard drives, and it's like, don't mess with him, just let him do it.
It's hacked in.
It's hacked into it. You're like, why did you send in your lion and your tiger?
There's no possible way for us to trace this back. We have no idea who could have done it.
I don't think it's her at all.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So flying is it's not necessarily a pleasant experience. Sometimes it can be downright stressful.
Yeah, it never was pleasant, but it seems like now you have a chance to really have something special.
Yes. Well,
maybe you don't even get to fly at all.
It depends on your behavior and the behavior of those around you.
That's right. Or maybe your flight gets canceled.
Yeah,
Like there's lots of options.
Yeah, it's a roulette wheel of fun when you go to the airport. Well, Delta Airlines is going to try to help you feel a little more relaxed when next time you're taking a flight with them. They are partnering with Peloton to offer stretching and meditation classes that you can watch on the seat back screens.
Oh, know.
So you can do some stretching while you're flying.
One lucky person has the bike seat.
Yeah.
And you trade out with other people who want to do a quick workout class.
That's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, there's no way that's going to fit in there.
Actually, you know what? Maybe they could save some space if they swapped out all of the seats with bicycle seats.
Yeah, no, they've talked about that.
Yeah.
It was more like a saddle approach. But don't give them any ideas.
You're making They're going to take the real comfortable seats out anyways. If they're going to put in little unicycles, you got to make the most of it.
And it helps power the plane.
Yeah.
So that's
Don't slow down.
So you're seeing this as a partnership with Peloton, and I don't see it going well.
Yeah. I can see that some people might want to find ways to relax on a flight. I don't know if meditation with Peloton is what they will go to, but could it hurt? Could it hurt?
I just feel like I just want to sit there and not be pushed to commercial.
Yeah.
And it feels
that's like
that
a commercial for
you're sitting there and they're just trying to push Peloton on you.
Mm-hmm.
They say that it's meditation, some stretching, some helping you fall asleep classes. But there's not room to do anything.
No.
So if you start stretching in your seat, the person next to you is going to get very mad.
Yeah.
And
the stretching is the one that's confusing because really, by definition, if you're stretching, that means you're expanding the space you're taking up.
And there's no room to go.
You can't do that on a plane. You really can't. They should have classes about how to get small.
Exactly. You're like, instead
shrinking
of stretching,
classes.
I want to get smaller and smaller and smaller so I can stretch when I get out. They say that Peloton members have asked many times for travel-friendly exercises.
Oh, have they?
And that's why they want to provide something that might be helpful to your wellness routine.
At least... Do you think it's free? It seems to be free.
They say that the classes won't be available on like the Peloton app, and they're going to be refreshed every few months.
Okay.
So if you travel a lot, you'll get a new set of them. But it looks like they range from 5 to 20 minutes, and I think they're free.
Yeah, it looks like it's included with which. Doing Peloton stuff not on a plane is expensive.
Well, this is
it's a value.
No, this is not an actual thing. It's just someone talking to you to try to calm you down on the plane that you want to get off of.
It's still a Peloton class.
And it's basically Peloton just trading and Delta giving your information. So it's one big advertisement.
I know that people like to brag about their Peloton, like where you
they have the bike.
You're in the class and you beat the class. You're one of the best in the class. You're really good at spinning or whatever.
Yeah.
This is your chance to brag. It's like, yeah, I took a Peloton class too.
You could.
Did good.
You could say, I was even on a vacation and I did a class. So they don't have to know. It was just stretching.
Yeah. What was your time? Oh, yeah.
Good. It was good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Peloton, their shares are down 40%. They had an amazing time during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because they made so much money. And then since then, they've had some bigger issues that have caused it to not go so well for them.
Give it a few months. Just start looking on Craigslist. You'll start seeing Pelotons for a reasonable price, right?
It's just you're the one that's sitting next to the person who's over enthusiastic about the stretching app that's now available for them to do next to you.
Their neck keeps cracking and stuff.
Just do it in the aisleway.
Yeah.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.